everyone, and welcome to another episode of Erongo Talk, our community, your news. Now, my name is Leandrea Louw, and I'll be your host for today. Now, today we find ourselves in Walvis Bay at Levani's Kitchen and Deli. Now, they are the people who love to make coffee for the people who love to drink it, right here in the harbour town. Now, today we celebrate Sprinkles Day, so coincidentally, get yourself a cupcake, a donut, whatever the case may be, with extra sprinkles, and come enjoy it right here at Levani's. Now, in today's program, we're going to chat to an honorary firefighter, Jonathan Smith, who's going to talk about his experience in the industry and just give us some fire tips since we are in winter. And then, as usual, I'm going to bring you the weather, the tides, as well as the latest news, so don't go anywhere. I'll be right back after this. And now for your news. Now, a high-level delegation consisting of 5 deputy ministers are currently on a familiarization visit to the Erongo region. Now, the delegation consists of Deputy Minister of Labour, Levani Ndamula, Deputy Minister of Urban and Rural Development, Derek Claassen, Deputy Minister of Health, Esther Munangui, Deputy Minister of Education, Faustina Kaili, and the Deputy Minister of Safety, Daniel Kashikola. Now, they touched down yesterday at the Walvis Bay International Airport. Now, they will visit the harbour town in particular, since it is regarded as the epicenter of the COVID-19 pandemic in Namibia. Now, the Ministerial Task Team spokesperson of the team that are here, Levani Ndamula, explained the primary objectives of their visit. Now, they are here to show solidarity. They are here to show that the plight of the people here in the Walvis Bay is their plight. So we're going to check out the isolation facilities here in Walvis Bay, Swakopmund, Henties Bay. They are also going to check out the various fish factories that was affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. And then they're also going to check out the burial sites. Now, their debriefing is scheduled for Sunday morning. So please check out our Facebook and our website for the latest details over the weekend on that. Now, yesterday at the media briefing, Lieutenant Colonel Actofel Kwedi, the operation officer of the Emergency Operations Center that is here at the Civic Center here in Walvis Bay, said that the current plan to medicate the virus in the town and region is not working. Now, the rate of infections have surpassed the current demands, which translated into frustration by community members as their concerns are not adequately addressed by the current management plan, he said. Now, he added that in terms of quarantine facilities, there are only 400 beds available, while contacts who need the facilities are more than 2,000. Now, the isolation facilities currently available have less than 600 beds, while the positive cases in the facilities are more than 1,000. Now, he said that currently 60% of the tested positive cases are in the communities. Now, Kwedi said that the healthcare workers deployed to deal with the pandemic in the region, particularly in Walvis Bay, are less than 80. Now, some of these healthcare workers are already in isolation or quarantine. Now, resources deployed to support the operations are limited. This includes ambulances, ventilators, swabbing kits, state laboratories and hospitals for COVID-19 patients and other supporting equipment. Now, he said that now we hear that other companies are getting preferences in quote allocations. What is so important about them, she said. Now, several attempts have been made by the company to have an audience with the minister. He refuses to meet with us or the management for reasons only known to him. What is our sin? Can the minister explain his decision to withdraw or withhold the quota to the president and the public at large? We are tired of the so-called investigations that we do not see happening. So please go read that story on our website at www.erongo.com.na. And then finally, the Minister of Health and Social Services, Kalumbi Shangula, announced yesterday that 806 COVID-19 test results were received over the past 24 hours. Now, of the 806, only 36 COVID-19 positive cases were announced. Now, 32 of the cases are from Erongo region, which is Walvis Bay, 28 in Swakopmund 4, 3 from the Windhoek in the Khomas region and 1 from Luderitz in the Karas region. Now, the minister added that on the bright side, Namibia have recorded 7 recoveries involving cases number 36, 44, 71, 192, 184, 185 and 307 37. Now all of these cases have been discharged. But you can read this and more. Standard Bank, Walvis Bay also donated 100 food parcels and 100 immune boosters to the office of the governor, and he's going to distribute it to much needed residents in the Kuisipmond area. So please go check out our website. There's loads more articles of all about what's happening here in Walvis Bay, Swakopmund, and the entire Erongo region. We'll see you right after this.
Hoe kan ons jou help? Goedemiddag mevrou, welkom terug by DT Motors. Hier is die motor se sleutel. As alles goed verloop, sien ons jou oor 10,000 kilos.
I'm joined here today by Jonathan Smith, who is an honorary firefighter. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thanks. And yourself?
I'm doing very well. So, Jonathan, tell me, how was your journey when it came to becoming an honorary firefighter? How did you become one?
Well, when I was younger, I was obsessed with firefighting since I was, 6 years old. Mm-hmm. And over the years, I just started getting more attached to the job and the passion of it. Mm-hmm. And recently, I've been going a lot to the stations, been hanging around it. And over the years, the firefighters of Swakopmund Fire and Rescue have become family towards me, and they treat me like I'm family. They push me, they drive me, and they taught me a lot of life lessons over the years.
Yes, I remember I did see you at that shack fire that took place. That was in Mondesa, I think 2 weeks ago, and you were also there. And you are currently a high school student that is now for a local school here in grade 12, right?
Yes, that's right. I'm currently in grade 11.
Okay.
So it's my job, my dream to become a firefighter, but firstly I just need to get my grade 12 behind me. So got to get that first done before I can...
Okay, and what inspired you or what motivated you to go into this whole thing of firefighting?
Well, for starters, I always used to watch Chicago Fire on television and, that, like, oh, cool, lights and sirens, Mm-hmm. And then I met a very good friend of mine, Shapa Shangolo. He's a firefighter at Swakopmund Fire and Rescue. Mm-hmm. And over the years, he's motivated me. He's taught me a lot of life lessons and also taught me a lot of firefighting stuff, as well as many other firefighters of the department.
Awesome. And now that we are in winter, there has been, or this is the time that is known for having a lot of shack fires as well as buildings burning, especially here in the coastal town of Swakopmund. So what advice do you have for people who are living here, who are trying to keep warm, just in an effort to avoid having fires?
Well, firstly, I would say fire safety, which that is basically if you have heaters or that in the house, don't put them close to anything flammable, and by bedtime when you go to sleep, do turn them off. It is better because anything can happen overnight. And for the people that live in the shacks and so on, don't make open fires inside the houses or close to anything flammable. Yeah. And also secure your candles perfectly and blow them out before you go to bed. And as well as just practicing safe distancing between your house and the fire or your cooking area, because a lot of times they have the fire right next to the shacks, and anything can happen with the wind. Wind is a dangerous game in fires because it jumps fires,
Yes. And you seem to be very articulate and you very inspirational for a young man like you to be fighting fires and so on. And what message do you have out there for the youngsters who are watching? What message do you have for them?
Well, I would say study hard, guys. As Wesley always used to say at the fire station, or still says to me, you can't get anywhere in life without an education. Yeah. So study hard, get your grade 12, think of a job you'd really be interested in. And also, as my family used to say to me, if you enjoy your job and you love your job and it's your passion, you won't work a day in your life. So what that means is if you actually love what you do, you'll get far with it.
I agree with that. And speaking of that, before we wrap up, we almost wrapped up, but you just gave me a brainwave. What other activities do you also engage in? Seems you like you seem to be a very helpful man in this community of ours.
Well, when there's about 2 weeks ago when the shacks burnt down, I went and helped a friend of mine, Joel. We took some food and blankets and just stuff that can help them through the night. And we also helped clear the rubble up, and they started rebuilding within days after the fire. As well as I help out where I can and how I can with anything, basically.
And that includes EMED?
No, not much EMED, but I do go to Neighbor Watch, yes, but not allowed to. But I drive around every now and then with a friend, just help out.
All right. At Okonjima, what do you do that side?
Okonjima is a conservation reserve. So when we go there, we basically put back into conservation. Like mainly our school does it every year. We have about 2 trips a year. I've never missed a trip since grade 8.
Yeah.
But we would go and we would basically, a group of us would go, we'd do debushing, we'll do the tracking,
Yes.
do vet checks on the animals, and we'll also learn about conservation itself and nature itself. Like Johan Verloon always said to us, the conservation is basically like a spider web. They all depend on each other and they're all interdependent.
Yeah.
And I can use that experience in my life as well, because I depend on my parents and they depend on their jobs and so on. Everything is interdependent and interconnected. So it also doesn't just teach you about conservation, but it also teaches you a lot about how you can put your stuff into real life situations.
Wow, inspirational stuff right there. And we're currently in the COVID-19 lockdown. School obviously is now also locked down and so on. What message do you have for people perhaps who are affected by COVID-19?
For the scholars, I'd say, guys, just keep up doing your work, keep updated, because you can't afford to fall behind. It's going to take a lot of self-discipline and a lot of self-dedication to be able to sit the long hours and complete your schoolworks, your school tasks, and hand them in by the time it's necessary.
So, as you can see, we're actually inside the Desert Sands self-catering bed and breakfast, which is found in the central business district of Swakopmund. So do come and make a turn over here. It's a really very nice, cozy place, as we know that the hospitality industry has really been struck a bit by the COVID-19 pandemic. So that was Jonathan Smith, a really inspiring young man who is a jack of all trades, especially when it comes to helping out people. He has a heart for people, and he has narrated his story on how he has helped the community, especially here in Swakopmund. So do keep watching Erongo Talk. We'll be back after this.
I'm joining you from the Platzamir Swakopmund Playground, and our Active Kids, a new initiative under the MyZone brand, aims to provide fun activities, lessons and fun stories from Zozzy and Zoe. Now this program, which is focuses on pre-primary learners, is every day from Monday to Friday at 9 o'clock on the MyZone Facebook and the Zozzy Facebook pages. And now it will be shared to the Erongo Facebook page as well. So join them in all of the fun and actively invest in your future. We'll see you after this. And now for your weather and tides. Now kicking off with the tides, we had low tide this morning at 5 minutes past 5, low tide at 5 minutes past 11. Then we'll have high tide at 25 minutes to 6, and again low tide at 25 minutes to midnight tonight. Now for Walvis Bay, sunrise was this morning at 20 minutes to 8, and sunset will be at 20 minutes to 7. Now this is more or less the times for sunrise and sunset for the rest of the towns in the region. Now the maximum temperature for today in Walvis Bay will be 28 degrees Celsius with a northwesterly wind, and then the minimum for tomorrow will be 20 degrees Celsius with a maximum of 29 degrees Celsius. Now for Swakopmund, maximum temperature for today will be 25 degrees Celsius with a northwesterly wind, and for tomorrow a minimum of 20 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius. For Walvis Bay, maximum will be 28 degrees Celsius with a southeasterly wind, and the minimum for tomorrow will be 19 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 29 degrees Celsius. For Arandas, maximum will be 31 degrees Celsius Celsius with a north-northeasterly wind, my bad. And then for tomorrow, minimum will be 18 degrees Celsius with a maximum of 31 degrees Celsius. For Usakos, maximum temperature for today will be 28 degrees Celsius with an east-northeasterly wind. For tomorrow, minimum will be 12 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be 28 degrees Celsius. For Karibab, maximum temperature for today will be 26 degrees Celsius with a northeasterly wind, and then a minimum of tomorrow will be 10 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius. And then finally for Maruru, maximum will be 26 degrees Celsius with an east-northeasterly wind, and for tomorrow a minimum of 10 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius. Now that's your weather and tides for today and tomorrow. And that's it for today's episode of Erongo Talk. Please check out our website at www.erongo.com.na, www.erongo.com.na. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, on Instagram, or just say hi to us, drop us a news tip, or get in contact with us for advertising opportunities at 0811 7040, 0811 7040. Now for tomorrow's edition of Erongo Talk, my colleague Aruf Kaure will be bringing you the latest news, the weather and tides, an awesome interview, and some, just to get you into the weekend vibes. So please remember to wear your mask, sanitize your hands, and keep your social distance at all times. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye!